Hello everyone and happy Monday. I know you've probably seen my TBR for March. It's a 14 book TBR. So I have no real reason for doing this video except for I really want to, and I was planning on doing it and hoping I was gonna have not so big of a TBR. It didn't happen, but I am a mood reader sometimes anyway, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this anyway. I have something new that I want to share with you, and it is going to be a sort of like little series on this channel every so often whenever I have the mood to do it. It's called Plot Twist. So this is something that I saw, I want to say maybe on an Instagram story ad, something like that, where I immediately clicked into the ad, went on Amazon, and bought this. This is a pack of 36 cards, 36 recommendations for books. And the thing is, they're secret. They have these cards. First of all, I do absolutely love these cards. And they're scratch-off cards. They have different genres. So we have like contemporary literary fiction, fantasy, historical fiction, horror, mystery, romance, sci-fi, and thriller here, and they tell you a little bit about the book, but like why it was chosen, not like what the synopsis is. It will tell you page count, audiobook length, when it was published, if it's a series, and what the book feel is. So this first one here, I don't think I'm gonna pick this first one for this first video, but it has, this book was chosen for its remarkable depiction of community dynamics and emotional depth. It's not just a book about sports, it's a book that makes you feel deeply, and that's why it's on our list. It was published in 2017. It is part of a series. So the series thing is throwing me off because I thought I originally knew what it was, but it is part of a series. I don't know. Book feel is icebound drama. Like, what does that mean? Who knows? The one thing I will say about this is there is romance, and I know for a fact there's a Colleen Hoover in this romance category. I do not think Colleen Hoover is romance. I will not read Colleen Hoover, so I know it should be this one here, which is chosen for its powerful storytelling and exploration of a difficult subject matter. This novel offers a deeply emotional romance that doesn't shy away from heavy themes. Published in 2016, and the book feel is harsh love. Like, I will never scratch this one off, or if we want to scratch this off later and just like look, this should be the Colleen Hoover. I know Colleen Hoover's in here. I know Dune is in here technically too, because they had a preview of a couple things on the actual like Amazon page for this. Like, I know that's in there somewhere. But my thing, it says that this is hand curated, impactful, well reviewed, and hidden gems. Now, I'm going to assume they're not saying that everything here is a hidden gem, because I don't think Colleen Hoover or Dune is a hidden gem, but I want to do one of these mystery books for you. We're gonna read it, and I'm sure some of these are not on my TBR, so this is like adding to it, but I really want to do this. I don't know what genre I want to do. They do have the page number, and so because of the fact that I am currently in a month where I have 14 books I'm supposed to read, I do want to pick one of the ones that has a lower page number. So I'm not going to pick something that is 430 pages. However, I might pick something that is 227 pages. Can we see that here? 227 pages. This is a contemporary / literary fiction, an innovative narrative that weaves everyday life with a tinge of the fantastical. Book feel is time travel tearjerker. I don't know, that's a possibility. Let's see. I've been really into romances lately, so I don't know if that's one that I should also do. The one thing I will say is because of you can see what year these were published, quite a few of these are books that are like semi-recent. So like that one that I just picked was from 2020. They have some like 2017s, 2022, 2015, 2021. I know that there's also some older ones. So like this horror, 1983. I don't know what that one is, but it's also 561 pages. We're not doing that today. We're not doing that today. There is a mystery from 1992, but it's also over 500 pages. There's a mystery from 1936. Is that like an Agatha Christie? That could be a possibility. So I have a couple that I've pulled out. For possibilities, cozy fantasy, that could be good. Anything else that sounds intriguing? I'm gonna have to pick one and then scratch it off and we'll see what it is. But there's a 600-page sci-fi here. And there's a book, masterful suspense and psychological thrills. Again, under 300 pages with chilling deception. Okay, I think those are gonna be our options for right now. I'm gonna take a look at these. I'll show you what we're looking between, and we're not gonna scratch anything off until we've actually picked. But I have 4 options here with all the different colors, because again, I didn't actually pick any romances this time, even though I've been really into romance lately. But we have contemporary, mystery is this like teal color, fantasy is black, and thriller is orange. So let's see. I'm dropping everything. Okay, so for the contemporary literary fiction, this is the one that was the time travel tearjerker, published in 2020. Mystery is a clever deception for the book feel, published in 1936. Fantasy is a cozy fantasy book feel, published in 2022. Okay, so that's probably the most recent of the ones I have here, because then we also have a thriller. The book feel is chilling deception, published in 2016. And they are all around the same number of pages, 293, 296, 286, but the first one, the contemporary literary fiction, is 227. And the thing is, they do also have the audiobook length, which I really do appreciate as well. Thriller, fantasy, mystery, contemporary. The thing is, I do think the mystery is maybe an Agatha Christie, and I'm a little bit more curious about the other ones than the Agatha Christie, only because I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Although I, again, would not call it a hidden gem necessarily, so I think I want to pick one of the ones that is not the Agatha Christie, even though I do think I am intrigued by that. I do probably want to read one of those. Chilling deception, cozy fantasy, time travel, tearjerker. Based on the other books that are on my list, I'm going to take off the chilling deception thriller. So we've already taken out the mystery and thriller, only because I actually do have quite a few more horror, mystery, thriller sort of genre picks, I'm pretty sure. And so let's see. Okay, so the contemporary literary fiction, an innovative narrative that weaves everyday life with a tinge of the fantastical. Well, I do like the fact that it has a tinge of fantastical, so it's not just contemporary or literary fiction, because I'm not the biggest just plain literary fiction person. It does sound like it's maybe some magical realism or fantasism sort of thing, so it masterfully delves into human emotions, relationships, and poignant life moments. The unique blend of the ordinary and extraordinary makes it a must-read on our list. Or the fantasy, which is, this book is included for its unique mix of the urban and cozy fantasy. Its humorous and lighthearted tone make it a pleasant read that stands out from other entries in the genre. You know what? I think I'm more in the mood for something that's not a series, and this is not a series. The other one says yes it is, and it's humorous and lighthearted. And I just started doing Storygraph this year, and I want to say adventurous, emotional, lighthearted is usually the 3 moods that have been popping up lately. I'm gonna officially say I'm gonna go with this fantasy one. I do really want to do these. If you guys have a guess for these ones, or just want to see one of these ones sooner rather than later, let me know, because again, I'm going to only do 1 book per video of this series, but I do really want to get to those. Okay, we're gonna pick this one, this fantasy. Here, I guess I'll show you the card so you guys can see everything that's on there. Let me grab something to scratch it off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just scratched it off. I actually should have guessed this as the title. I had it in the back of my mind, I just didn't mention it. It's Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I guess they're saying it's not a series because there is technically a prequel, but maybe this was either done before that or it's not considered a series for that way. I actually do own this book, so that's sort of perfect. I don't have to go buy a book. Okay, so Legends and Lattes, like I said, I actually do own this book, so I don't have to go buy a new book, which is good because I'm sure some of the other ones in this pack, I do need to go buy a book. So now this is going to be a reading vlog. This is very shiny. I'm so sorry about that. This is now going to be a reading vlog for Legends and Lattes. I have been very curious about this one. I have definitely been wanting to read it because of the fact that it was originally indie published, and within less than a year it got picked up by Tor, which I just think is amazing for this author. I love the idea that it is a cozy fantasy. There's like, what, a bakery or a cafe here. It is going to be sapphic romance, which I love a book that has some romance in it. I'm going to put this card in here as my bookmark. And I do also think that this book was a gift. I do not have a paper in here anymore, so I'm so sorry about that, but I'm pretty sure it was from Stevie, who is a friend of mine. So thank you so much for this. We're going to be reading it in the next couple days and vlogging about it, and hopefully not messing with my 14 book TBR too much. Okay, good morning and happy Tuesday. I had full intentions of starting this last night. I probably didn't even need to come and talk to you guys right now for an update because I have not started this. I finished a different book yesterday afternoon going into evening around Elliot's nap time, and so I was raring to go with this one. But we're in this weird phase of Elliot's napping / bedtime. She's only 20 months old, so like a year and 3/4. Like, we're not quite at the like almost 2 stage. And Presley was taking naps even after Elliot was born, where he was like almost 3. I want to say around 3 is like when he really stopped taking naps. But we're at this point where like if she goes to school and gets to like go run around a lot and play and like do things, it seems like she takes a nap earlier. She has this way of like, if she's not happy with what's going on, because she's not like 100% gung-ho about school, she likes to fall asleep. She turns herself off, you know, like a computer turning itself off to like solve the problem. That's what she does. Like, we went to the Renaissance Festival, and at the beginning she got too overwhelmed with people. Like, we weren't even in the actual Renaissance Festival yet. We were just in line. It was early enough in the morning that she should not have needed a nap. She turned herself off just to have a nap. So at school, she has a nap pretty early, like 11 something, almost noon, and then she sleeps for maybe a couple hours, fine. At home, she does not want to take a nap until like at least 1. So when she has a couple hour nap, it ends up going into 3, almost 4 o'clock, depending on when she actually goes to sleep. And now, if she has a nap, she is up until like almost 10 p.m. at night. And like, that's when I want to go to bed. I want these kids to go to bed around 8 because they do have school and stuff every so often. And then they're in my room / in my bed. Presley has a bed next to our bed right now, and Elliot sleeps in our bed. I would like them to go to sleep around 8-ish, so I have a couple hours to read before I want to go to sleep. And like, sometimes I'm asleep by 9:30. Like, I really wanted to get into this one, but I didn't. So today is Tuesday. Presley is at school. Elliot's at school. I have a couple things to film because we are going to be going on a trip for spring break soon. So I want to get on top of things. I'm already like 3 to 4 videos ahead, and I have not edited everything, but I'm like on top of my stuff, which I'm very happy about. So I do need to film a little bit, potentially edit a little bit, but I'm hoping I don't have to go pick up Presley for almost 2 hours to maybe get some of this in as well. Like, take some time for me, do some stuff that I need to do for this channel, but I really want to get into this because it's something that I've wanted to read for a while. And again, I think I mentioned earlier, I should have known like cozy fantasy and like what this was about. I should have guessed this book. I didn't though, and so I was very pleasantly surprised because I have it, and now I just need to read it. And I do think it's going to be a very different vibe than all the other things that I'm trying to read this month. So yeah, that was my probably too long of an update for the fact that I didn't actually read anything last night. Papa. morning, everyone. Elliot is coming up. Happy Wednesday. I did get some reading in this done yesterday. I'm at page 98, so almost 100 pages in. And I have really been enjoying this one. So far, we've basically just been following Viv as she like moves into this new town. She really wants to start a cafe, is getting this like old horse livery, and like fixing it up and all this kind of stuff, and like trying to explain coffee to people that have never had coffee. And I really like the fact that they like are taking this as like coffee is a drink that's like a gnomish thing. She has this sort of like espresso maker almost, and so I like the idea that it is in this fantasy world, but they're like putting it in there, and that's sort of all we've really done so far. But I have been really enjoying it, like the cozy fantasy vibes that this promises. I'm obviously getting. I was going to take this up to potentially read a little bit more last night. However, I did spill water on it, and I don't know if you guys can see, it's a little bit like stained now, but I immediately dried it off and put it under a stack of books and things to like make sure it didn't warp, and it really didn't. Like, it is perfectly fine now with maybe a little bit of discoloration, so it's perfectly fine. But also, I was so tired yesterday just because Elliot woke up early yesterday and like wasn't sleeping as well the night before last, and so I was so tired. I went to bed at the same time the kids went to bed. It was almost 9 because there's no school today or anything, so yeah, I was tired. I went to bed. I didn't read anymore at that time, but I really do want to read more today. Presley?
I got 11,001.
11,001 bubbles?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I'm at page 187 of Legends and Lattes. My Bookly app says I have about an hour left, but one thing I also just realized is it has a short story in here as well, a prequel short story. So actually, I'm at page 187. The end of like Legends and Lattes is at like 250 something, and then there's the short story. So I have less than 100 pages left of the main story. I'm still absolutely loving it. I love the fact that we're basically just revolving around the cafe and Viv being there in the cafe. So it is very like cozy, and them discovering new recipes and things like that that I just absolutely love. One thing I will say, just because we're slowly getting to that point now, I'm pretty sure, this is sapphic. Like, Viv and Tandri, I'm pretty sure, are supposed to be the relationship, and we've gotten like a little hint. Like, they went on one little semi-date that was disguised as not a date earlier, but I think because this is more cozy fantasy style, the author's first book, maybe they're not as used to writing romance. I'm not getting romance vibes from them and that relationship yet. Like, they're not quite there. They're definitely friends with maybe the hint of it, but like we haven't gotten more than maybe like one line of Viv saying that she had a feeling in her chest, and that was like it. Like, it was a very, very quick, almost throwaway line when she was like looking in Tandri's direction. So like, I was wishing for a little bit more of that, but like for the actual hi, yeah, you're the baby. Yeah. Oh, and Presley. So for the actual cozy fantasy vibes, it's perfect. Like, I love the fantasy characters and the different fantasy races. Like, I absolutely love some of the side characters too. Like, I really do love that part. So I think this is still going to be like a really, really highly rated read. Like, I don't even think me not having as much romance as I would like for it to be billed as like there is a sapphic romance in here. is gonna even bring it down lower than a 5. Like, I'm just really enjoying the vibes of this, which is exactly what I wanted from this. So I am gonna be leaving the house soon to go pick up my mom from work, and gonna hopefully finish this tonight and come back with more thoughts for you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it is Thursday morning. I have officially finished Legends and Lattes. I actually finished it last night in bed after the kids went to sleep. It was still a little bit later than normal, but Presley's like officially on spring break already, so it wasn't too crazy. I stayed up a little bit, just a little bit past my bedtime. I finished it in under an hour, and I really like this one. I did also read the short story, the short prequel story in the back, which gives us a little bit of like the lead up to like Viv finding coffee. It was okay, it just wasn't necessarily, like, I didn't need it. If I'm just judging Legends and Lattes as a story by itself, I am giving it 5 stars. It did exactly what I wanted it to. Exactly what this card for plot twist said. It is definitely the cozy fantasy book feel. It is humorous and lighthearted, and like, I agree with everything that this said. So this was a great pick to start off this little series. I will say the like actual romance, again, doesn't really feel like romance. It's just sort of put in there. But because I knew going in that we were mostly getting the cozy fantasy vibes, this is not a fantasy romance, I wasn't like expecting anything revelatory. So like, I did want to mention that. And I do also think if we're actually going through this and like picking apart character development and writing style, it's probably not a 5 star for some people, but like, I wholly go with my feelings reading it. I had a great time. I really did love the characters. I especially loved our side characters too, with like Thimble and things like that. Like, I loved the sort of wide nature we had with the high fantasy world of having all these different species and everything like that. But really, we're just like at the cafe with these characters. Like, we don't really travel much in this book. We're like at one location, and so the vibes of that I absolutely loved. It was exactly what I wanted, and I'm very curious to see what else this author will do. I know we do have a prequel book to this technically, so again, I don't know if the not being part of a series was written before it was a prequel book, or if that's not counted as part of a series because it was a prequel. I don't know how that works with plot twist, but overall, I really enjoyed this. I'm so glad that I decided to do this video during my massive 14 book TBR, because like, this did not disappoint. So that is going to be it for today. Again, I am planning on bringing this back throughout the year. We have 35 more prompts in our plot twist box here. One of them is Colleen Hoover though, in some way. I'm not going to do that. Another one is Dune. I never really thought I was going to read Dune. If it does somehow pop up, I'll read it. I'll try it at least. But Colleen Hoover is a hard pass for me. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys liked this. And this does say it's season 1. I'm hoping that they eventually do come out with more of these, because I just think they're really fun. And I can't wait to see what we get in the next one. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays. So I will see you then. Bye.